Now, think back to a moment where you felt angry and had an argument, or maybe internally you felt angry about what someone or some people did to you. For some of you, could have been earlier on or yesterday, maybe just 5 minutes ago. Now, imagine or think back to the moment just after that period of time where you felt angry and you had to do some task, maybe studying, maybe a household chore, or it could be driving, or it could be going out to get something. Were you able to perform well? For example, if it's studying, were you able to concentrate? If it's a competition, were you able to do well? Now, a certain level of anger helps to propel us and help us to achieve good things. It boosts our adrenalines to give us a boost of energy so that we can maybe push ourselves a little bit harder to complete a task, raise our testosterone level. Dr. Guy Leschziner, from a neurologist from King's College Hospital in London, mentioned in a talk show and podcast that a little bit of anger will make people a little bit more successful than people who don't express their anger that much or don't encounter episodes of anger. One good example which he provides was in sporting moments. So let's say you're an athlete, maybe you're a boxer, you're a football player, you're a basketball player. If you heard something that made you angry, maybe a report, or maybe just before your match, somebody took your shoes, played a prank on you, you get angry. Or the other team mates or some team member or manager might have said something in the press and you read it, you felt angry, you have that fire inside of you. So when you go out there and you play against that particular team, you have that added motivation to win. So that kind of anger is channeled in a constructive way to help you to achieve success. So that's really good. And Dr. Leschziner mentioned about a puzzle. They did a study and they made a few people angry just before giving them a puzzle to solve. I'm not sure, probably might be a jigsaw puzzle or crossword puzzle, maybe a word puzzle, but he realized that people who were angry put in a bit more effort and were more persistent in their attitude in solving the problem, in solving the puzzle. So he give them the added motivation because of that anger. So the anger drove them to do better. So anger can drive us to do better. But, there's always a but. Just like almost anything in life, too much of something can cause us problems. So Dr. Leschziner also mentioned that if you reach a certain threshold and you go above that limit, anger becomes a very destructive and dangerous force. Because when you're angry, your body releases the cortisol to help your body to deal with stress. Too much of cortisol over a long period of time can cause lots of difficulties in our body and our minds as well. Inflammation, stress, anxiety, and then can manifest into physical problems like heart disease, high blood pressure. So always good to keep your level of anger in check. Two very good ways to know whether your limit of anger is acceptable or going to destructive mode is, number one, when you're having the episode of anger, do you feel like your heartbeat racing faster, or other physical sensation? For example, your muscles tightening up, maybe in your fists or even in the pit of your stomach, like as though you have done sit-ups. Or after arguing with someone, you have raised your voice to a little bit higher than your normal speaking volume. So we notice these changes, and we notice that this anger linger over a period of time. It could be maybe even after a day, and you had that thoughts of getting even with somebody, that revenge mode, that means probably you might have gone into a more destructive pattern. Another method to test yourself is if you have done, of course, verbal abuse, using all sorts of words, or worse still, physical abuse, you damage property. So anger can be good. However, above a certain limit, it can be bad. So you do not do damage to yourself, do not do damage to others, and do not do damage to property. So use anger and channel your anger in a more constructive way, in a good way. You want to achieve success in your tasks, but you don't want to hurt yourself and others and also property. So remember, the next time you feel angry, remember to channel it properly. You want to make sure you get the best of it. Feelings are good. Any kind of emotion, whether it's anger, sadness, fear, they teach us something. But remember to learn from that and feel better. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.